Am I the asshole for canceling going to a wedding because I was supposed to sing without anyone informing me? Am going. I have no idea yet. Going to a wedding today. It's okay here, I'm not in the US currently. We were both invited to a wedding to one of his cousins. I do singing like semi-professionally, and I'm known in some areas, but I am not famous and generally people wouldn't know me, so, no one had told either of us that they wanted me to have a performance, which honestly costs quite a lot since it's private, and I only do maybe 3 a year. I've only done it as a gift for my best friend. Like normally, they would have to schedule in advance. I've refused my own cousins. I know people think that's rude and maybe even inconsiderate, but I don't want to do it if you don't connect with me unless you want me to sing. So we are staying at the hotel where it's happening, and the mother of the groom came and knocked on our door and told me to go and rehearse and get a feel for the stage. They have set up an entire agenda for me and which songs I'm supposed to do. I was flabbergasted and just closed the damn door and yelled at my so. It's his damn family. I am not ready for a performance. I didn't bring my performance gear. My sister sew dresses and do my outfits. I haven't had a cut for my hair since the plague happened, and most importantly they didn't ask me. They just assumed. It's really rude and inconsiderate. And I don't even have my band here. Like, they are the most important people. I look cray without them, and it's just a mess. There is just a myriad of reasons why I am not doing it. I've told them no. They don't think that's fair. I feel like I am being fair. Apparently I weren't even going to get to eat during the wedding. I flat out refused. Now, people are fucking pissed at me for being this way. I am getting told you aren't that famous, don't flatter yourself, etc., and that I'm tearing the family apart, how selfish I am, and just all in all a really bad time for me. I feel like I aren't really an asshole. My significant other doesn't think I am an asshole, but his father does, as well as his cousin's family. Edit, sorry I'm ESL, so there just has to be some spelling mistakes and errors in the text. I'm sorry.
Do yourself a favor and stand your ground. These people are cray-cray.
Not the asshole, definitely. Why on God's green earth would anyone think it was okay to just assume you would sing is beyond me. Your level of fame has nothing to do with it. If they want someone to do something during the ceremony reception, then they need to ask. Otherwise, they don't get. Plain and simple. Make sure your significant other didn't volunteer you without telling you. Stand your ground but be polite. Singing is a professional engagement and needs to be handled in a businesslike manner. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. You are a person, not a jukebox, and you get to decide when, where, if you sing. If you only want to sing on snowy Thursdays in July, that's 100% your choice. You only want to sing when you're well prepared and either for significant payment or for people you care a lot about and who care about you. Not unreasonable. They're not offering money, and by not asking in advance and not even wanting to feed you, they are ruling themselves out of the second part too. Like, hey, you're a guest at our wedding so should do what we want, but also we're not going to treat you like a guest at all. Not the asshole. If I were you, would ask your husband to talk to the bride and groom and make it clear you were never asked to sing and aren't prepared. He should be clear to them that you're not going to do it. I wonder if someone was supposed to ask you but didn't. Let that person get the blame.
Not the asshole. Aren't that famous, don't flatter yourself. But yell at MAAAAAAAAD tears of joy.
Not the asshole. What has your significant other have to say about this? They probably were part of the arrangement of it. It's unreal how demanding they're being without having the basic level of respect to ask you. They could have mentioned it the day before and it'd be slightly better, but they didn't even do that for you.
Not the asshole. You weren't invited to a wedding. You are working at a wedding. Without being told. I would let your husband deal with his entitled family because that's ridiculous.
Not the asshole. Holy entitlement, Batman. Do not do it. Ooh, or you could tell them they haven't paid a deposit for your services. Open mouth smile performers get paid. They want a performance, then pay up.
I thought at first that they were asking you to sing a song for the ceremony. But they wanted you to actually be their entertainment for the entire night. Oh hell no. Your skill took years to develop and you deserve appropriate compensation. And if they invited you as a guest and didn't even inform you, that's entitlement, and I am 100% behind you. Not the asshole. Hubby better be supporting you on this. And your English is significant other good. I'm so impressed with people who are able to learn another language so well. All I have is Spanish swear words.
Not the asshole, they're taking advantage of you and your right to refuse.
Broken record, but definitely not the asshole. I'm a violinist and there are enough nerves to prepare and warm up for a performance I know about and with a repertoire I have been practicing. There is so much preparation that goes into each and every show. Entitlement aside, they clearly have no idea what goes into a stage-ready performance. Talented musicians still need to practice and rehearse. I wish I was surprised at the level of entitlement over creative people here, but it's pretty much a trope at this point in time. I know my prices and people are always, can I do less than a tenth of that? Or even worse, it would be great exposure.
Not the asshole at all. They didn't even ask you. That's the biggest thing. They didn't ask at all. With how they are treating you, I wouldn't blame you one bit if you didn't even go to the wedding. How entitled of them. Not the asshole. Expected to sing and not even being fed, let alone paid? You weren't invited as a guest, you're there to be a money-saving entertainment option for them. Not the asshole, they've done this to themselves. They probably would have tricked the caterer if they could have hit on a plan. If you go, there's a risk that you'll be called on to sing, and the rest of the guests will see you as the A since they don't have the backstory.
Not the asshole. They made some seriously wrong assumptions. And don't worry about the ESL. You write better than some for whom English is theoretically their primary language.
Not the asshole. You weren't asked at all. You were only told you would be performing. Also, you were invited as a guest, not hired as a performer. Your best option is to not attend at all.
Not the asshole. I know a number of semi-professional singers, and they have varying policies on friends and weddings, but when we had a small group sing at our wedding, we chose specific singers to form the ensemble and we asked them. And we paid the going rate for a church call. If you want professionals, be prepared to treat them as professionals and pay them like professionals. Springing this on you and expecting you to perform without pay or preparation was unbelievably rude.
Not the asshole, they didn't even ask you. Putting you down after you refused is pathetic. They're crazy. Not the asshole, you aren't obligated to perform just because you have the ability, and if they wanted you to do so they should have asked you and offered to provide equipment so you could actually perform properly.
Not the asshole. I would go home, get on social media and do some kind of article about how to work with musicians for family events. Don't give specifics, just the do's and don'ts and not to make assumptions. Lay out what you did above, how you are willing, but how you need to practice unfamiliar songs, etc. Don't let them make the first comments. In fact, you might want to close all comments for everyone for the next month, leaving only phone and email communication open, things not seen by the public. Do reach out to bride and groom, if not today, in the next week if they are not available today.
Not the asshole. Your degree of professionalism has nothing to do with it in my opinion. They assumed you would do a favor, made plans around it, and didn't even ask you first. You got some 100% asshole there, but you aren't one of them.
Not the asshole, your voice is an instrument. I would think many if not all professional singers would have some kind of routine in the days leading up to a performance to prepare the voice and rehearse. Suddenly telling you with a few hours' notice that you're expected to sing and also what you're supposed to sing is horribly insulting, and I wouldn't speak to them until you get a sincere apology.
Go back to them and say, sorry I got upset before, I just didn't have any contracts with me. But we're family so I guess that's not really needed. Here. Then hand them a piece of paper with €1 million scribbled in a very childish way and when they ask what it is tell them with a dead straight face that it's the bill of course.
Not the asshole. Also, sorry I'm ESL, so there just has to be some spelling mistakes and errors in the text. I'm sorry. You were 100% understood. Things were phrased a little differently than most of us are used to, but one of the nice things about English is that there are 35 different ways to say everything and be understood. Not the asshole, and I want an update on how everything went down please.
Not the asshole at all. I'm an amateur trumpet player and used to sing. I've done a few weddings for friends, family and they always ask well in advance. Are totally fine if I say no. Don't expect me to perform the whole time and often try to pay me in some way as they are so appreciative. Springing a gig on someone shows they have no idea what it takes to be a musician and don't value your time and skill. Best of luck.
Not the asshole, but you owe your significant other an apology for yelling at him when he wasn't in on it. Has he defended you to the family?
Not the asshole, and like, what if you didn't know the songs on their list? They didn't present it to you until the last fucking minute, so what would they have done if you had been like, I don't know the words to these songs? Also, the fact that they just assumed you'd perform and they weren't even gonna feed you is blowing my mind.
Not the asshole. My friend's band played my wedding. I booked them in advance and paid day of. That is how it works. Not the asshole. How is this any different from setting up a booth for their cousin the dentist to do free teeth cleanings? Why would someone assume this was okay?
Not the asshole. They banked you being music entertainment for their wedding without asking you. That's crazy. You were not booked nor paid as a vendor. You were invited as a guest to your knowledge, so this is a classic bait and switch. I am getting told, you aren't that famous, don't flatter yourself, then why do they care if you sing? That, I'm tearing the family apart, how selfish I am. These people are assholes. If singing is no big deal, then why don't one of his relatives go on stage and entertain them all night without a meal break? Fuck that noise.
Not the asshole. They just handed you a song list when you showed up and told you to go rehearse. That's crazy. No prior discussion, no time for you to prepare yourself or practice or learn the songs. Don't listen to them op, what they're asking of you is not even a little bit reasonable.
Not the asshole. Hell fucking no, would I perform at that wedding? You don't get this for free even if you asked. Why would I do it for free when you didn't even ask?
Not the asshole. They can't expect you to sing on such short notice. Don't they know you need to prepare for this? Also, you need a band. What about the songs? What if you don't know some of them? How are you supposed to know the melody and lyrics without preparation beforehand? Also, bands, singers and DJs need to be paid for a performance, unless you specifically told them you were offering to do it for free or as a wedding present. Musicians don't work for free. Also, they expected you to sing for free and not even feed you. So, you're a part of the family so you can perform for free but not a big enough part of the family to get some food. They're all assholes. Not the asshole. This is extremely disrespectful. They obviously hoped that you'd bend by not telling you beforehand. Fucking nasty.
Not the asshole. Like others said, let your husband talk to the cousins. And #X200B. Please give an update after the wedding. I'm dying to know what happens next.
Not the asshole, but you are the asshole. Not the asshole for the vote, and because getting asked to do a performance, whatever is it, suddenly for a wedding without any preparation, with all the schedule done, and without even letting you eat, is insane, and you have every right to demand them first an apology and second to be treated as the guest you came to be and not the singer they expected you. And #X200B. You are the asshole for yelling at your so. Did he deserved it?
Not the asshole. I can't believe they didn't ask you.
This is nuts and you should definitely not go to this wedding. Their rudeness is astronomical and they will definitely treat you like crap if you go. Not the asshole.
We are significant other going to need an update on this one.
Just for future reference, avoid using we and they without explaining who we and they are. I'm EFL and I've made those errors as well.
Not the asshole. ZOMG, holy presumption. Most importantly, they didn't ask me. They just assumed. For this reason alone, they can pound sand. Who the hell do they think they are? The So's family are huge, gaping assholes though. You were to be a guest at this wedding, not a vendor. Heck, when I got married, my cousin, who had worked in catering for years, offered to make my cake for me, gratis. I turned him down because I wanted him to enjoy being at my wedding and not have to do any work that day. Though he could bake the cake the day before, things would still have to be done day of, delivery, setup, etc., and he was my guest, not my vendor.
Not the asshole, of course. Who makes plans for others without telling them? Assholes. And you weren't even going to get to eat. They're assholes, you're not. Skip this mess.
Just start coughing on the stage. Winking face.
Not the asshole. Do you have the option to just leave and go home? If you go to the wedding as a guest, the family will likely introduce you as the entertainer anyway and hope that you're too embarrassed to say no in front of all the other guests. Not the asshole. Freelance singer here as well. People sometimes don't understand what is involved with performing and the fact that you have standards for yourself. I once had to reiterate to my family, I need you to understand what you're asking me to do. You want me to sing this song at 5 a.m. the morning after I fly cross-country and essentially don't get a good night's sleep. Any friends who've asked me to sing at a wedding have always done so months in advance.
Not the asshole. Oh dear gods. No, that is absolutely out of line. Doesn't matter if it's a professional or not, you want someone to do anything at a wedding, you ask them beforehand, it's basic manners. Just don't. I can't see how anyone would tell you to listen to those people. By Loki. Not the asshole. How rude and conniving of them. They thought they could save thousands of dollars by putting you on the spot like this. They were banking on the fact that you would give in and say okay. They suck. Your talents as a performer are worth time and money. Where I am, the average wedding band costs $5,000. How dare they try to suck that out of you?